Hi everyone, it's Marilyn Aloria. How are you? I am upset because my camera isn't working. This is my camera that I use, and it's a really, really great camera, and it broke. So I'm not happy. Anyway, I'm excited about the topic today because this is a super important topic that we're going to talk about. This is the topic that accelerated my learning with my guides. It is the topic that helped me to start paying attention, how to recognize the symbols and synchronicity to help illuminate your path. And so many of you are already getting repetitive symbols and synchronicity and signs, and you're not really understanding how to break them down or what to do with them or how to make them work in your life, how to create synchronicity with your life. So we're going to play some really fun games on how you can learn about symbols and how to break down a symbol without needing a Google or a book. We're going to talk about the positive aspects of using those things as well. But I want to give you a little background about what got me into symbols and synchronicity, which ultimately led me to communicating with my guides constantly. So let me just give a couple of quick shout outs. I want to say hi Anna, hi April, hi Sue, hi Gentry, hi Jean, hi Viorica, hi Victoria, hi Jocelyn from the UK, and it hasn't rained today because Jocelyn and I are always talking because I miss rain. I'm in Southern California and Jocelyn's always talking to me about the rain. So let's do this first. How many of you are already experiencing repetitive signs? And how many of you, and what are those signs, and do you know what they mean? So how many of you are already experiencing repetitive signs? What are those signs, and do you know what they mean? So type in the comment section below. Repetitive signs are things that you see over and over again, like 1111, a lot of people were seeing that. The numbers, 354 was a big one for me. Fives, twos, butterflies, bees. You're constantly seeing white cars, hummingbirds, somebody just wrote. And these are repetitive signs, repetitive symbols from your guides. And I'm going to explain to you why they speak to you in this particular way and why they use symbols and signs first to get your attention. You may already be hearing, you may already be feeling, but the visual symbols are communication. They're trying to get messages to you. They're trying to wake you up to making different choices and decisions on your path. So a lot of you said, yes, you are. And you're saying that it feels to me like you do know what they mean. Dive bombed by dragonflies, April says. Jocelyn says, yes, repeating numbers, have Googled them, which is a great way of doing it. And Sue says she works with numbers too. Gentry says, oh, it went away. Big for me are butterflies and dragonflies. I know I read that, Gentry, in the mastermind group that we're in, which was so cool, or it was membership. I can't remember. So let me just explain. And then Sherry says, yes, so I'm going to teach you how to break down a symbol. I'm going to teach you what they mean. Sherry says, yes, numbers 333, 222, 777. But we're going to play some fun games. Thomas says numbers. Great. And sometimes smells. That's a whole other thing, Jocelyn. That is definitely a sign and a symbol. And it's a way of communicating. But for today's purposes, and thank you for bringing that up, actually, I'm going to work with visual symbols. I'm not going to work with auditory sounds, which can also be repetitive signs and symbols. I'm not going to work with smells or even repetitive feelings, you know, if you're goosebumps or things like that. We're going to work mainly with visual symbols. But I want to tell you my story first. I didn't know I was going to do this, but I am. I think many of you know that I studied dream work for over 10 years. And the reason what got me into dream work was from ever since I was a little girl, I had very vivid dreams. And I also had precognitive dreams. Precognitive dreams are dreams that come true. And they happened as early as like 3 years old. Now, I didn't know that that's what they were when they were happening. I didn't really recognize that that's what was happening until much later on when I was already practicing as a medium. And a lot of you, as you open up to your gifts and you start studying them, you're going to start realizing that things were actually happening in your life much earlier on than you realized. So many people will say to me, well, it didn't happen to me when I was younger. And I would beg to say that it was happening. You just didn't realize what it was because the adults around you were telling you that it was your imagination or it wasn't any big deal or it was something like that. So as you learn to work with your gifts, you start realizing, oh, wow, that was happening to me at a very young age. Oh, yeah, I was seeing butterflies, or I was talking to an imaginary friend, or all these different situations. So I had very, very vivid dreams, very vivid dreams. And I always wanted to know what they meant. And I had a lot of nightmares, and I felt spirits around me and energy around me. And as early as 13 years old, my parents sent me to therapy because I tried to run away from home. And I wanted the therapist to just talk about my dreams. But at that point in time, therapists weren't really prepared to talk about dreams. I didn't get to a Jungian therapist, unfortunately, at that time in my life. So I left therapy. Much later on, when I was seeing repetitive symbols all the time, like numbers, the number 354 came to me a lot. That was the address of where I grew up, which was really not a great experience. So I didn't know why that kept showing up. Or I kept seeing, I can't remember a lot of them, but like butterflies constantly, or squirrels, or a lot of times it was numbers for me because I have a mathematical, I can add and subtract in my head a lot. So I would see all different types of numbers, 222, 1111, 2525, whatever the numbers were at the time. And at that point, it was over 25 years ago, I came upon a dream class. And I ran and took that dream class right away. And that's where I learned how to break down symbols. So in Jungian, I learned the Jungian way in the beginning, but I do it differently now. We're actually going to do dreams in membership next month. But the way that Jungian believes is he believes that everything in a dream is you. So he believes that everything that you're dreaming about is really a representation of yourself. I'm almost forgetting his theory because I've already shifted it for myself. So I believe that. Now, what I believe is everything in the dream is a symbol. So if you're dreaming about Uncle Fred and Aunt Sally, they're a symbol. If you're dreaming of I used to dream of the cast of Friends, they're a symbol. So there's different dreams, right? I didn't know I was going to get into dreams, and I'm not going to teach a lot about this right now, but there's precognitive and then there's psychological. Precognitive are psychic dreams, and psychological dreams are things where you're working on yourself. So if somebody visits you that's deceased in a dream, it could be either they're visiting you, or it could be that there's something psychological that you're working through. And the way that you know the difference is through feeling and through the vivid energy of the dream. But again, we're not going to get into dreams. I do have a dream class. If you want to check it out, it's on my website. So under the Live and Thrive series, I have a great dream class. Let's talk about symbols. So I learned about symbols. And at that time, the internet wasn't even around. Aging myself. And I had to go to books. So I had a ton of symbol books, and every time I used to record my dreams. I did a lot of dream analysis work, and then I would go to the books and look up what the symbols meant. And it's amazing what happened in my life from doing that dream work, how it charted my territory, propelled me into what I'm doing today, how it really got me to leave the job that I was miserable in and take the job that and do the things that I really wanted to do. It was such a support system for me, those symbols in my dreams, to help me to live the life that I really, truly dreamt about living, dreamt in my heart about living. So you can see how symbols are so important to me. But I didn't know about guides then. I was introduced to my higher self back then through therapy, through a therapist I was working with. But I didn't know I was a medium. I didn't know I was a psychic. I didn't know anything about guides. And I knew angels were out there because I was raised Catholic, but didn't really know it. So then I started working with my guides. And you really have to learn the symbolic language of your guides when you first start working with them. The reason is, our words are so diluted. It's very hard for us to find the words of the vibration that they're giving us, right? So when I'm channeling, and Esther Hicks explains this perfectly, and it's exactly what I experienced too. They're giving me information. I am interpreting it into my vocabulary. But sometimes there's a misconnection because what they're giving me vibrationally and knowledge-wise, it's such a deep knowing. It's a deep, communication from them that I have to then make sense of it through language, through visual symbols, through words. And sometimes our words are so diluted because we've been using them for so long. There's so many meanings for love. There's so many meanings for hate. People have different emotional attachments to different words that they have a difficult time sometimes just getting through by words. In the beginning, they will use symbols to get our attention and to start talking to us that way. Why? Okay. So you may see a lot of butterflies, you may see ladybugs, you may see certain numbers. The reason is, and this is why I teach symbols, is because they're also using your personal experience to make sense of that symbol. So we're going to play a game right now, and you're all going to comment, and then I'm going to continue on this lecture as to what I'm teaching here. But let's play the game first. Didn't know I was going to do this, so I got to make notes. I'm going to throw out symbols, right? I'm going to throw out about maybe 6 symbols. And I want you to write in the comment section, maybe just 4, we'll see, what that symbol means to you, okay? So let's go. You ready? Rose. What does a rose mean to you? Just write it in the comment section. White butterflies. What does a white butterfly mean to you? So rose was the first one. White butterfly is the second one. But write, guys, don't just write the love, write rose equals love. White butterfly equals peace. So write that down next to it so I know what you're doing. I'm going to actually do this differently. I'm used to doing this on the phone where people write down and we do it differently. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So write down, okay, rose equals best friend, great. So write down white butterfly, great. Okay, good. Keep doing that. I understand that most people that typed in the beginning was answering rose because you have a delay. Great. Okay, so rose, white butterfly. Here's the next one. Here's the next one. Candle. What does candle mean to you? Candle. So write down candle and what it means to you. And I'm going to give you a 4th one. Star. What does star mean to you? What does star mean to you? So let's get candle and star. I love this exercise, and you're going to see why, and I'm going to continue on. Okay? Then I'm going to teach you how to break down a symbol, which is just super fun. So we had rose. All right, great. So as you guys are probably following along in the comments section, when we said rose first, the first person who answered said his dad, their dad. So, woo, we got a lot here. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hold on a second. I want to go to the first person. So Jonathan, he said his dad. And then Kenneth said love, and Jocelyn said beauty, and Anna said peace and God, and Katazina, I hope I'm saying that right, said beauty, and Nat said pretty. Jocelyn said angels. I believe that was all to Rose, so let's now go. So Rose, Kristen said best friend, and Carolee said rose equals love and white butterfly equals spirit. Rim said rose equals spirituality. Jonathan, white means angels. Anna said rose equals love. Jane says white butterfly equals peace. So if you're looking at these, Kenneth said rose equals love, butterfly is divine. Katie said peace but never seen one. And she's talking about a white butterfly. Sue McCarthy said rose equals Mother Mary, white butterfly equals spiritual changes. So I've just done 2 already. I'm going to go to the other ones. And what you're seeing is everybody has different meanings. You've all now just broke down a symbol. So like Sue said, rose means Mother Mary and white butterfly is spiritual changes. Whereas Jocelyn said rose means beauty, whereas Terry says rose means love. So you all have a different meaning for rose. There isn't a universal meaning out there for these things. Some books will say there's a universal meaning for numbers. There isn't. Because your own personal, Jonathan said his dad was a rose. Your own personal perception shapes the meaning of that symbol for you. And your guides know this. And that's why they're bringing you symbols at a certain time in your life to get you to wake up to something, to make a decision, to illuminate your path, right? So let's go on. The next one was candle. Kenneth said light. Carolee said light. Terry said spirit. Katie said silence. Carrie said, Carrie, be still. Allison said spirit. Kat said, let me see, it's going fast. And Nat said, sorry, I lost that one. And Nat said serenity. Okay? So here you have candle, and Allison said spirit, Kenneth said flame and light, and Katie said silence. All different, right? All different. You now have found out what that symbol means to you. Now, it goes further, and I'm not going to go into how much further it goes, but I'm going to teach you something else in a second. Now we did star, right? So Susan said mystery for star. Lauren said infinite light, star. April said, I am a part of it all. Beautiful, right? Nancy said, shining your light, the star. Maria said, star to be seen. So we took something, we went from rose, which is such a general symbol, and we could still see that there's some differences in there. A lot of people said love, other people said dad, and beauty, and best friend, right? Then we went into white butterfly, which everybody had a different meaning for. And then we went into candle, which everybody had a different meaning for, mostly. And then we went into star. Star, there was a lot of different meanings because there isn't a real one particular definition that you would put to a star, whereas rose, a lot of people think maybe red rose, love. If I said white rose, it might have been a different situation. A yellow rose might have been something else, right? Okay. So Viorica said rose equals love. White butterfly is freedom. Candle is dead. Interesting. And star is infinite, another infinite. Great. So you can see, yes, Jonathan, I knew that you said that the rose first was a sign from dad, synchronicity. I got that completely. So you already know that when you see a rose, it's your dad speaking to you. Great. So my reasons for teaching you this is because you all now used your personal experience, your personal life to understand what the symbol means. And that is what is important. Because what happens is spirit knows where you came from, who your parents want, what you went through, what you're struggling with that day, what you like, what you don't like, who you dated, what you read. All of that makes you unique. No two of us could stand next to each other, and even identical twins, they're going to experience life differently no matter what. They're going to have different experiences with their parents. They're going to have different experiences with their teachers. They're going to have different experiences with the kids in the school, with peers. They're going to have different experience even with each other. That creates a perception. That creates how we hold life. That's how we understand life, how we understand symbols, how we understand how we're being. So spirit knows this, and they know what you're struggling with or what you're asking, so they'll bring you repetitive symbols to try to give you the answer. Because not right away, I'm really learning this by working with the Membership for Your Soul, for the members in my Membership for Your Soul. When I came out of the gate channeling, and the reason why, when I opened up to it, the reason why that happened for me is because I was doing so much symbol work ahead of time. I believe that that's what it was, and the dream work prepared me for it. Not everybody has that experience. It's probably more rare than it's normal. None are right or wrong. It all is what it is. I'm just bringing up a point. So spirit, you may not be hearing spirit. You may not be feeling them. You may not even believe that they're around you, but you keep seeing repetitive signs and symbols. Work with those signs and symbols because they're telling you what they want you to do, where they want you to go, what they want you to release, where they need you to be. So right now I've been seeing a lot of green beetles, right? Green beetles. I've been seeing a lot of white butterflies. I've been seeing the yellow-black butterfly that I talked about in that video that I did a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember. You'll find it on my page. And I know that I'm going through a lot of change, a lot of transformation, a lot of releasing. I'm releasing a lot of things that I never thought I'd be releasing. Friendships, people, life dreams, happily. And although, when you release something, there still could feel like there's a hole in there. Or am I doing the right thing? Am I going the right way? And spirit is constantly bringing me confirmation for all of that by bringing me signs and symbols. Now, I channel and meditate pretty much every day, but not everybody does that, right? So I want you to pay attention. So now I'm going to teach you how to break down a symbol. So we're going to play a really fun game. All right. There you go. How to break down a symbol. So we're going to play a game. You ready? Tell me if you're ready to play a game. Hit the likes, hit the loves, hit the likes, hit the loves if you're ready to play a game and to learn what the symbol is telling you. All right. I want you all to think of a question that you have right now. Now, when you deal with yes and no questions, it's sometimes hard to get a yes or no response right away. You also may not get the full answer to your question, but you'll definitely get wisdom and knowledge for where you need to go. So right now, I want you to close your eyes and just connect with yourself and put your left hand over your heart, ready to receive, and think of a question that you have. So it's best if you close your eyes while you're doing this and just connecting. And think of that question. And now I want you to open your eyes and I want you to scan wherever you are. You can scan the room, you can scan outside. I just want you to look around. If your eyes fall on something, let it stay there. If not, just keep scanning. Sometimes you'll be pulled in a certain direction and you want to stay there. But if not, just keep scanning, scanning, scanning. Stop. What did you stop on? What did you stop on? What item, what thing did you stop on? Now, before you move your eyes from that, and you can type it into the response, that's fine, you don't need to. We're going to now break down this symbol. So whatever you stopped on, I want you to ask yourself, if it's something in nature, where did you get it? Was it there when you came to the house? Did somebody else plant it? Where did that thing come from? They all come from something, right? So it could be something you went to the store and bought. Like I looked at my star and I went to the store and bought it, and it was when I was decorating my backyard and it was a lot of fun. I could go into a whole story about that. Where did this thing come from? Maybe it came from God. Maybe it came from an inventor. Where did you buy it? How do you feel about that thing that your eyes landed on? How do you feel about it? So where did it come from? How do you feel about it? If that item was to speak, what would it say to you right now? If that item was to speak, what would it say to you right now? So give that item a voice. This is where your imagination runs. If it was to speak, what would it say to you right now? And then the last question, after you have all of this, where did you get it? Who made it? Where did it come from? How does it make you feel? Do you like it? Does it stress you out? Is it anxious? Is it beautiful? Does it make you happy? If it had a voice, what would it say to you? And then here's the last question. Ask it, or allow yourself to just feel into it. In regards to your question, what does it want you to know? In regards to your question, what does it want you to know? In regards to your question, what does it want you to know? And I want you to fill it in down below. And for the sake of explaining, so as you all know, or maybe you don't know, I'm thinking about moving and I don't know where I'm moving and I'm going to some place to check it out. And I'm like, so my question is spirit, which I was kind of surprised. It wasn't the top questions that I always ask. My question was, How will I know it's the right place? How will I know it's the right place? Because I've been doing this research. I've been traveling. My eyes fell on my star outside that I bought. So that star is very prominent for me. It's in my backyard. I decorated my backyard after my last launch for membership because it was a successful launch. It was a gift that I gave to myself. And I went out and I decorated. And I went to, I don't remember where I got it. I'm a very good shopper. And, but it's this beautiful bluish green star, the colors of my membership site. It's this new color that I love. It was fun finding it. It was fun decorating my backyard because nature in my backyard means so much to me. It was finally able to do it. I had the finances to do it. And the star makes me feel really good. It makes me feel happy. It makes me feel like I'm connected. And then I didn't get to do the last thing, but when I asked the star what it wanted me to know, it's telling me you'll know. The way that you feel about looking at me is the way that you're going to feel when you go to that location where you want to move. You're going to feel happy. You're going to feel light. You're going to feel joy. I haven't shown my tattoo to my mass audience. My membership has seen it. But there's stars in my tattoo. And that to me, it's an infinity symbol with stars and stuff. That's my connection to God, the universe, to source. So that's how I broke down that symbol. A lot of information to help answer that question. Let's see how you did. So let's see, we're going to pick somebody. So you can put it in, and if you're confused, you don't know how it answered your question, let me know. But if you want to share what you got and how you felt it answered your question, please let me know. So Rainey says, my question, will my financial situation improve soon? Rainey, you are going to love next week's live because I'm going to talk about staying on your path with your guides and creating an abundant life. So she said, will my financial situation improve soon? Ceiling light, loved it. Purchased online, came from China, soothing. It said, look, I'm here. So Rainey, and hopefully I'm saying your name right, what do you think that means in your financial situation? It already made you feel good. It made you feel light. It made you feel loved. It made you feel connected. So as you're going to learn next week when I talk about abundance, you're going to learn that when you tap into that experience, it brings more. So when you feel the fear of your financial situation, if you could just stop a moment and do that simple exercise, and maybe you'll come upon something that makes you feel uncomfortable, and that's okay too, because it might be informing something for you. It may be saying, like this morning in my channel session, I was debating whether to join back on my tennis team, and it's been a big debate, and it's been taking up a lot of energy for 6 months. And Spirit made the decision today, no. And I have to send that email after this Facebook Live, which I will. All right. April got, what was it telling me to slow down? A pillow. The pillow that I got from a hotel in San Francisco when doing 7 sessions of Rolfing, it says, be well. It is telling me to continue to take the path towards slowing down and getting more healthy and holistic. I love that. So she found a pillow of all things, a pillow. Like people be like, why is it a pillow? Well, she got the pillow from a hotel when she was doing 7 Rolfing sessions. Oh my goodness. What was your back looking like after that, April? And she was taking care of herself. She went to San Francisco. She went to a hotel. She had Rolfing sessions to heal something inside of herself. Now, I know April because she's in my membership and my mastermind group. And she says it's telling her to continue to take the path towards slowing down and getting more healthy and holistic. That's great. She just got information. It's confirmation. Can you see how these symbols are giving you confirmation? Okay, so Madeline says, my question, what's the next step in my God essence business? I stopped on a jewelry bodice that I got from a friend I'm in the business with. It said there is much more for me if you are here. So much more for me, for you here. So Madeline, are you able to unpack that more? So anybody who's gotten that, which is great, it's a great response, but you want to unpack it more. You want to say to it, this is how I teach breakdowns of symbols. Sorry, they're talking to me about something. What is more for me? What do I need to know? Where do I need to go to get more? When it's more, what are you talking about? Are you talking about my abundance, my financial situation, my wealth of what I can give? Who do I need to speak to? Do I need to make something? Why this particular item? You want to go further with it as much as you can, because there's so much information in that one particular symbol. Like, I could go back to the star now and I could start talking to the star and say, okay, so you're telling me that it really made me happy and I'm really excited about the next place I'm going to look at. What do you think about that? And you know what the star just said to me? Go with no expectations and just explore. Allow your heart to be open. That's where you want to get. And I do that pretty quick. All right, let's see who else we can get on this. Whoops, going fast. Hold on. And let me know also by hitting likes and loves if you like this game, if it was helpful. All right. I'm hitting it. It's not good. Terry said, my question was, should I take the natural supplements for my osteopenia? I looked at my dog. My daughter brought her home 9 years ago. She makes me feel happy, peaceful, and joy. Didn't get an answer from her except she loves me and it's grateful for how well she is cared for. Now, I can't really respond to this from a mediumship perspective because it's health related and I won't do that. But I would say if it was me and I was asking about natural supplements for osteopenia and I looked at my dog and I felt happy, peace, and joy, for me, that's a yes. Because that's saying to me, that's what you're going to feel, or you're going down the right road, or asking this question is the right question to be asking. Taking natural supplements is really good. Now, you may be deciding between medication and natural supplements, and maybe Spirit is saying, well, maybe try the natural supplements first and see how that goes. But there's also with a particular, when if it's a medical thing in osteopenia, especially because I know a bit about it, with anything, there's a belief system. Do you believe that the natural supplements will heal you? That would be my question to you. But that might be what Spirit is saying, because you said, I didn't get an answer. Well, then I would want to go back and say, well, why didn't you get an answer? What's the answer you're looking for? Why doesn't happy, peace, and joy relate to that answer? What is it? So that's where I'd have you go. So I'm going to take another one, and then I may ask another question. All right. Maria, how will I know where and when to move? I stopped at a striped t-shirt. Makes me think about the sea, a gift from my mom many years ago. I also had a similar shirt as a child. The shirt told me to not be sad, to be more childlike. You're not alone. It is okay not to be so cool. I love that, Maria. What I would also suggest you do is, do you want to live by the sea? Maybe you need to go by the sea and just meditate and feel it out. Maybe you don't live close to the sea. And maybe you need to look at the sea on the internet and listen to the ocean waves in order to get more information about where to move. Maybe you have to remember, okay, so it's a striped t-shirt your mom gave you. How did you feel when you got that striped t-shirt? You may have already done a little bit about this because that was the question. It reminds you of something many years ago. You had a similar shirt as a child. Where were you when you had that shirt as a child? What were you doing? What was the memory of it? Were you afraid? Were you happy? Were you ecstatic? So you want to unpack the sign. You want to unpack it and be an investigator as much as you can. So that's unpack the sign. Doing a little dance for that one because I like it. All right. So that's breaking down symbols. That is breaking down signs. So now you can, for a moment, give me a repetitive symbol that you've been getting that you don't know what it means. And Jonathan asked you a great question, or ask me questions about symbols and signs further if you want to go further. So he said, use all your senses with the symbol. Yes, he didn't ask a question. He made a statement. Totally so. I use what I feel. You could use what you hear. I have a class on clairaudience and Live and Thrive, but clairaudience is not only about what you hear inside your head and words, it's about physical sound too. You could use smell. What does that item smell like? Maybe it doesn't smell like anything. What does it make you feel like when you smell it? It's a great observation, Jonathan. And what do you see, know? What do you know about it? So use all your senses. So Carrie asked this before, rock, paper, scissors. So Carrie, if you keep getting repetitive symbols of like rock, paper, and scissors, so right away from me, you have to go to your own personal experience of that, right? For me, that was a really fun game, rock, paper, scissors, and I really liked it when we did it because it felt like a fair game. It felt like instead of we're going to pick you to be the leader, we're going to choose what to do. So right away, rock, paper, scissors to me brings up fairness. And I don't like favoritism anywhere. Like it just bothers the crap out of me when people, like teachers favor people. I can't stand it. So for me, that would be like, oh, it's bringing up fairness. It's also showing hierarchy. Rock, paper, scissors, right? So the rock can break the scissors. The scissor can cut the paper. The rock can break the scissors. The paper can cover the rock. Which one won? I think it was rock, paper, scissors. I can't remember. Oh, right, because not everybody, I don't know if, I think if everybody one picked a rock, one picked paper, and one picked scissors, you'd have to do it again. I don't remember. So anyway, I'm not going to work on that so much, but it would be about hierarchy too. What are you feeling about fairness in life? What are you feeling about hierarchy? Are you feeling, how's your self-esteem feeling? Do you feel like things are fair? Do you feel like you always have to fight to win? How do you feel about rocks? How do you feel about paper? How do you feel about scissors? How did you feel about that game? That's what I would say, okay? So I wanted to, let's see, I'm going to take another one. I'm going to take Katie's. I have a question. I dreamed last week that the mother of my boyfriend I have only seen once. I can't see it, Katie. I may not be able to see this. Okay. I have only seen once. She ignored me. In the dream, she gave me a green Islamic headscarf. That means as much as she will accept me. Since then, I see everywhere women with exactly, I'm going to tell you what this means. Will she accept me? Since then, I see everywhere women with this headscarf. Should say green is my favorite color. I am not Muslim. What that means to me is about accepting yourself. So her acceptance of you, her handing you a green scarf, what characteristic did you like about her? What didn't you like about her? What do you relate to about her? What characteristic does she have that you have, right? But right away for me, the interpretation of this dream would be about she gave you a scarf saying that she would accept you, but you have to accept yourself no matter what. So whether she accepts you or not, why is that so important? Yes, it's your boyfriend's mother, right? You want her to accept you, but we never want people to accept us at the detriment to ourselves. We have to accept ourselves in every situation, no matter where we are. And these struggles that came up for me a lot at the tennis team, and I had to learn this. I had to learn how to be there for myself no matter what. And these are really great lessons. And you said green is like your favorite color. What does green mean to you? What does green make you feel? So I feel like Spirit was saying to you, everything is going to be okay, but love yourself. Put a scarf around you. What does it feel like to put a green scarf around you? What does an Islamic headscarf mean? What does it hold connotation-wise? There must be, I don't know anything about it, but there must be some type of positive. Because the way that I would understand it from my limited U.S. view is, it shows limitation, right? So I don't know anything about it. So that's an ignorant response right there for me, right? So I would go online and look it up, look up the history of it. What does it mean? It's got to mean something fantastic. So Katie, that's how you can go further into it. Okay, I'm going to take one more, and then we're going to stop. And I'm going to talk about, before I go, what we're going to learn next week. And remember, if you're not part of I don't think this is playing across the board. Darn my assistants, they're taking vacations. How dare they? That's what we're doing next week. Staying on your path with your guides and creating an abundant life. So that's what we're doing next week. So join me next Tuesday, 12 noon Pacific time. Next week, and we are going to talk about that because I am definitely living an abundant life with my guides and continuing to increase abundance, and I want to teach you guys a bit about that as well because it's really important. All right, so I'm going to take one more. Gracie. Gracie says, I usually see 1111, 111, 222, and 333. But birds have been flocking to me for the last month. They even walk ahead of me while walking. Now, Gracie, I know you joined late because you said hello late and hi, Gracie. So I want to teach you. I want you to go back and watch the video because I do this great exercise where you can break down these symbols for yourself. Now, I really feel like there's some great things on the internet about numbers right now, and you have to find the one that works for you. When you go on Google or you look at numbers, symbolic meaning of 111, you want to go to the website that speaks to you. And if there's something up there that says horrific, horrible, and you're like, ooh, is that what it means? People are like, am I supposed to accept that? Ooh, no. For me, when I read things, and I really like Ted Andrews' books, but he doesn't have numbers books, he has like animals and spirit animals. So if I look up a symbolic animal, I definitely pick the website that resonates with me. I definitely look for the questions and the answers that are of that symbolic meaning that are answering my questions. And then I go with what I like, and whatever I don't like, I throw out. If there was a real negative connotation to a meaning, I would probably walk away from it. Can there be? Yes. There can be like, I saw a possum and I had a whole conversation with a possum. And the possum, I really did see a possum and have a conversation with it. I had a couple glasses of wine, so the conversation went really well. But anyway, the possum was definitely telling me to take a break, right? To watch out for people. I don't like those messages, but it's a true message. So that's not a negative connotation message. That's a warning of some sort that's teaching me something. So Gracie, she asked 1111, 111, 222, 333. So whenever you see numbers in sequence like that, where you're seeing duplicates or you're seeing it in triples or quadruple, it's got an extremely important message for you. So you have to know what the numbers mean. So ones for me are new beginnings. Twos are partnerships. Threes are mind, body, and soul. So when 1111 shows up for me, it adds four numbers, right? So it adds up to a 4. The 1 is about new beginnings. So I'm going to take 1 and just show you. So that number, right? The 1 is about new beginnings. It's separated in 2s. So that's about partnerships for me. And then it brings a 4, which is about foundation. So when you see this number, I know when I see this number that I'm creating a lot of new beginnings in partnerships, friendships, social circles, maybe even co-creation with my guides, co-creation with God, with spirit, with nature. Whatever it is that I'm focusing on at that time, I know a partnership is changing for me. Co-creation and partnership with myself, right? So it's whatever you're focusing on. It could be a couple of things. It could be partnership out there, romantic partnership. So I'm partnering up with myself in a better way, creating new beginnings to create a partnership, a romantic partnership. And then the 4 is about new foundations. So I know that I'm creating a new belief system that is creating a new foundation for me to stand on. We're constantly working with our belief system. We're constantly finding the belief system that allows us to live, that allows us to, we're all here to figure out why we're here. Maybe there's some people who don't ask that question, but I think if we all sat around the table, the main question is, what are we doing here? Why are we here? How did we get here? Did God put us here? And then some of us have beliefs about that, right? Like I do believe that I am here from a universal infinite energy, and that I know to be true for today. If you asked me that 4 years ago, I would have told you God put me here, no matter what. It was more of a Catholic view. So you're changing your foundations. So that's what that means. So break down the numbers, look up the numbers, see what they are, the fact that if you're seeing them all together. The other thing you want to do, everyone, and I'll leave you with this, if she says that it's so in alignment with what she's going through, this is so in alignment with what I'm going through, great. So lean into it. It's a positive thing. I'm reading Mary Williamson's book, Tears to Triumph. I just started reading it. I'm reading so much for yoga certification, so there's just so much reading I can be. And my friends, my member Susan bought it for me like a year ago, and I finally picked it up. And the reason why I share this with you is because I love that book, because she talks about that there's no like magic wand miracles. You know, we go through things in order to learn. So when a number like 1111 shows up, when you're going through some difficult times, you want to lean into that symbol. That's why our guides show us symbols, to show us that supporting. us. I have to type that out. I didn't write it out in proper English, but that's why they're showing us symbols. You want to lean into those symbols. Even if you don't fully understand how it's answering the question, you still want to lean into it, be open to it, experience it, embrace it, allow it in. It's super important for you. So that's where I leave you today, that let those symbols speak to you. Don't worry so much about, like, if you get numbers, right, like Gracie just got. Ask yourself how you feel. We all have feelings about numbers. I know I have feelings about numbers. I know that 5 used to be my favorite number, and then when I learned it was transition, it scared the crap out of me a bit. And now I'm okay with it because I understand that transition is a great thing. I love the number 7. It means psychic abilities. It's also the day of my birthday, 7. So lean into the numbers on your own personal experience and allow it to speak to you. Allow it to give you information. Allow it to answer some questions, or allow it to lead you down a path. Remember, a lot of times we don't get the exact answer to the question. We're just getting led down a brighter path, lighter, illuminated path. That's what this session is about, how it illuminates your path. So I leave you with that. Let me know if this helped you. Let me know if you'd like to learn more about symbols, what you would like to learn. And remember to tune in next week when I talk about that. Staying on your path with your guides and creating an abundant life. Staying on your path with your guides and creating an abundant life. Thank you so much, guys. I really, truly love that you participate in these lives with me. It makes a lot of fun. If you like it and you feel this is helpful, share it. Share it. Because one of the things that I feel that I do is I teach you how to do this stuff for yourself. Readings are pretty much non-existent in my life. I do some for recurring clients and for my members, but the main reason why I don't do them is because I want you to do this work yourself. I want you to look at the star like I looked at it and allow it to answer you and illuminate your path to where you're going and help you to make decisions and choices. And I feel that my audience is somewhat smaller than most because not everybody wants to do the work for themselves, but you do. So congratulate yourself for being here, for showing up, for doing the work, for engaging, for being willing, for talking to your guides, and for just opening up. Really congratulate yourself. And I want to thank you so much for walking this path with me and being with me. And this is the one thing I want to say more importantly, and I noticed Susan was on. Susan, I mentioned that book you bought me, and thank you so much. I'm finally starting to read it. Don't send me your own books, people. I can't read those. I have so much reading to do for yoga, but Susan bought that as a gift for me when she came to see me live, and I spoke live. I wanted to say one more thing, and it went out, so it doesn't matter. But thank you so much, and I love you guys. And I will see you next week when we discuss, I don't know why I want to keep dancing for that. I never dance. Staying on your path with your guides and creating an abundant life. Thank you, everyone. I love you and talk to you soon. And share if you feel it's going to be helpful. Thank you so much. Bye.